Can my landlord evict me? Can your landlord evict you? 2 seconds and I will try to help you answer this question. Hello everyone, my name is Maria Rubert, lawyer and arbitrator with a base in Dubai and Abu Dhabi in the UAE, and I'm very happy to prepare finally this video that I've had in the pipeline for quite some time. We are getting loads and loads for quite a few months by now of usually tenants who are mainly answering, Maria, I have received this notice. Can I stay in the property? Is my landlord right? Is he right? Can he evict me? Can he raise the rent? There are two questions. One question is, can my landlord increase my rent? And the other question is, can he or she or they evict me or us? Yeah. To answer the first question, which I think is simple, I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna jump here on my computer and I'm going to show you what you can do to answer this question. Can he raise my rent? Yes or not? So if you click on the website that you see here below, yeah, you will see the screen that you see right now. I hadn't clicked on record, so you'll see the screen. You'll see that it says English. You will need to click there, and then right on the picture of the website, you will see that it says Rental Index on the left side. Yeah, you click on Rental Index, and you can immediately click on Access this service. This is actually very cool because it takes you to a site where you can do quite a number of verifications. For example, here that we see now that says title deed number, we can verify that the title deed that we see, that we've been provided, is correct. When are you gonna need this? And I'm not gonna drag too much out of the tenancy, but you can check the validity of title deeds, especially when you are buying a property, because there are a number of frauds. So this is good to verify. This should be the first step, to verify that the title deed is registered under the name of the person you are talking to as seller. Yeah, and then you can also verify the JARI if the JARI contract number is valid. And then we see the residential verification. This is usually, of course, you can also verify commercial and industrial, but this is what we are talking about. Can my landlord increase my rent? This is where we will come. In a hypothetical world, we are gonna assume that the contract, the tenancy ends today, 22nd of November 2022. It's a beautiful date, by the way. We are going to assume that we live in an apartment, and we are going to further assume that we live in Burj Khalifa Tower, and then we are going to assume that we live in a 2-bedroom and that our current rent is 180,000 dirhams. Yeah, we are also going to assume that we are not a robot, and then we are going to click on calculate. So we see this screen. And what it tells us is that there is no rent increase allowed when the rent is not beyond 10% of the market value. So let's explain. Right now, and it explains also here, it says that the rent for a 2-bedroom in Burj Khalifa is in the range of 177,000 to 217,000. So a rent increase will not be applicable unless your current rent falls below 10% less than this value. So you will need to calculate 10% of 177,000, yes, which should be 17,700, yeah, and then deduct it. So if you were paying 150,000, it is, or a little bit above. So we have the calculation, and imagine that for some reason we were paying 120,000. What will happen? I'm not a robot. In this case, because the rent is 31% to 40% less than the average rental value, the landlord will be entitled to a 15% increase. Yes? In the previous case, we are gonna go here to 150,000. I'm not a robot, calculate. Yes, the rent was 21 to 30% less than the average rental value. Therefore, there was an increase allowed of 10%, correct? This is how we move around. This is how we move around whether or not our landlord can increase our rent. Now, the question to whether or not the landlord can evict me, in order to answer this question, we are going to have to talk about law. We need to talk about Law 26, 2007 and Law 33, 2018. This law of 2008, 33, 2008 modifies important articles of the 2007. The key one is Article 25, when it lists the reasons when landlords can evict tenants. Before, it's very important that Article 25 talks about two aspects. Point 1, before the expiry of the contract, and point 2, upon expiry of the contract. Yeah? So, before the expiry, it must be a gross reason, like for example, tenants are not paying, yeah? Within 30 days of the notification of tenant, please pay me. Yeah? Then what other reasons before the expiry? Yeah? If the tenant uses the property for illegal or immoral activities, if the leased property is a commercial shop and the tenant left the same without occupation and without legal reason for 30 continual days or 90 non-continual days in a year. If tenant causes changes that endanger the safety of the property. If the tenant uses the property for purposes other than the purpose for which it was leased. If the property is in danger of collapse. Yeah. Or if the tenant fails to observe legal obligations or tenancy contract conditions within 30 days from the date of notification. Hey, you are not complying with your obligations, please comply, else you need to leave. This before the expiry. Now, upon expiry, that is the regular reasons that landlords use to evict tenants, yeah? Is if the owner wishes to demolish the property for reconstruction, if the property requires renovation or comprehensive maintenance, which cannot be executed with the presence of the tenant, if the owner of the property wishes to recover the property, or if the owner of the property wishes to sell the leased property. Yes, for these purposes of point 2, landlords will need to give 12 months advance notice, and they will need to give this notice via registered courier by the court. Yeah, so they will need to go to the notary, sign the eviction notice, and notify you. Yes, so if they send you a WhatsApp, if they send you an email, if they tell you over the phone, highly unlikely you will not have that. This notification will not be valid, and you can stay. But I do encourage you to take a look to the Dubai Land website to check on the increase or not increase. Of course, you can always double check with experts, but whether or not you have to go and whether or not you want to accept something in writing, this I do encourage you to double check the contract, to double check the notifications that you have received, whether via WhatsApp, whether via email, or via via DHL, via courier, any courier, or even the notary court system courier. Yeah, this I think is very important that you do even before you reply to your landlord. Yes, not. I will think about it. Yes, you can tell him I have. I will check, or you perhaps don't want to say anything. This is the legalities, but there are other loads of practical implication on how you want to handle this approach by your landlord. Do you want to tell him, hey, you are sending me via WhatsApp, I saw Maria Rubert on YouTube, and you have to send me a proper notification? Do you want to tell him that? I don't think so. But you need to do it politely, because at the end of the day, you're living in his house. So I think a proper assessment on how to handle the matter is recommended by experts with experience. Of course, happy to help if you come across that breach. I hope that this video and the information I have shared through my desktop is of help to you. If you have learned a little bit, please do like the video. Please do subscribe to my channel to get to new information as soon as possible, or to the very least, subscribe to social media that will serve as a notice to you of new information. Thank you so much.